Hey guys, Discord Magic here, and it's time for part 7B of the spoilers for Unstable. I can number them however I want. And yes, I'm still sick. YouTube doesn't offer any sick days. In fact, they penalize you if you don't upload on your regular schedule. Thanks, YouTube. Also, they don't offer any kind of healthcare plan. Duh, because we're contractors. But also, in America, if you work for yourself or have any kind of 1099 income, you get to pay double Social Security. Yay! Anyway, first card is Masterful Ninja. It's a troll ninja, which is awesome. I get it, he's not really in the artwork. He probably looks like John Cena. So it has haste, it's a 1/1, it costs 3. Reveal Masterful Ninja from your hand. Masterful Ninja is on the battlefield and in your hand until the end of turn. What? I guess a card could be in 2 zones at once. Why shouldn't it be able to? If you pay 2, Masterful Ninja gets +1/+1 till end of turn, so you can pump it multiple times. Now, you do still have to declare that you're attacking with it, but I guess they can't physically see it. That's kind of clever, actually. Next card, Novelemental. Neat. It's a 2/1 in blue for 2 with flying, so it's actually pretty good, so they had to restrict it. They had to give it a downside, I should say, not literally restrict it. Novel Elemental can block only creatures with flying, which means this is basically a functional reprint. I don't remember of what, but it's a really similar card, I think. Anyway, next up, Phoebe, Head of Sneak, Mythic. That's right, she is the leader of Sneak. So she costs 3, which is pretty awesome for a legendary creature. It's nice to get them out, kind of like Baral. And she can't be blocked by creatures with flavor text, which is actually most of them in this set. Oh, and guess what? In case there's an exception, pay 4, Phoebe permanently steals target creature's text box. The entire text box, not just the flavor text. So that creature loses all rules text, flavor text, and watermarks. This creature gains them. So that includes keywords, abilities, triggered abilities, activated abilities, everything. Now, power and toughness are not considered part of the text box, but basically everything else... Oh, and the type line. That's considered the type line. Everything else, you got it. So that's pretty awesome, because even if that permanent leaves the battlefield, you stole their lifelink or their really awesome trigger. So this is one of the best creatures in the set, by far. Next up, we got a land called Secret Base. I don't even know what it does yet, and I love it. Plus the artwork. Oh my gosh, I love this. Although the black balance is really off. You can add 1 colorless to your mana pool, or you can add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast a spell that shares a watermark with Secret Base, which is probably Agents of Sneak, I think. I didn't memorize the watermarks yet. Well, considering it says the location of Sneak HQ is a closely guarded secret, I'm going to take a wild guess it's Sneak. So if you're playing Sneak, you're going to need that color fixing, because color fixing is going to be a problem in this set. Next up, Skull Saucer. This is just amazing. Cost 6, it's a zombie head, of course. It's flying, and it's a 4/1, so it's actually moderately okay. I mean, I've seen better. And when it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature and put your head on the table. Why? Sacrifice Skull Saucer when your head stops touching the table. How are you supposed to play that way? I mean, your chin is part of your head, but, like, this legitimately... Like, I'm not going to go straight up SJW on this and be like, that's ableist. But seriously, I've got ongoing medical issues that may, under some circumstances, keep me from doing this, and that's bullshit. Thanks, Wizards. Guess I won't be picking that one in a draft. Next up, we've got Sly Spy. It costs 3, and it's a 2/2, and it's a human spy. Whenever Sly Spy deals combat damage to a player, that player reveals his or her hand. You choose a card from it with the longest name. That player discards that card. Awesome. A 3-cost discard that's also a crappy overpriced creature where you can't really choose the target. It's not that great, but if they had 1 card left in hand or like 2, you're probably going to get a pretty good target on it. So I don't know, it's probably worth a pull. Yes, that's what it's called in drafting. It's not choosing or selecting, it's pulling. Next up, we've got Squirrel Dealer, which this artwork was spoiled a long time ago. Actually, it was about 75 or so days ago. Imagine that. Anyway, when Squirrel Dealer enters the battlefield, ask a person outside the game, do you like squirrels? If he or she does, create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token, and if he or she doesn't, throw a chair, because who doesn't love squirrels? I freaking love them. Although, if you ask like some old 60-year-old lady, she's going to be like, they keep digging up my lawn. Nobody cares about your petunias, Matilda, okay? I love squirrels. Squirrels are hilarious. All right, next up, we got the mother of all squirrels, Steel Squirrel. honestly looks like something Matilda would own and probably put out in her front garden. It costs 2, it's colorless, so grab it in a draft. Whenever you roll a 5 or higher on a die, Steel Squirrel gets +X until end of turn, where X is the result. You can also pay 6 to roll a die for no specific outcome other than this trigger, and there you go. So you've got a 1 in 3 shot at this, but it would be +5 or +6, which is pretty vicious. So this would obviously be a lot better in an actual die roll deck where you do a lot of rolling, but even by itself, it's not that bad. I mean, 6 mana is that bad, but, you know, whatever. So the flavor text is: question, where does a mechanical squirrel hide its nuts? Answer, in a bolt hole. I don't understand that at all, because a non-mechanical one would hide them in the ground. So I don't get the analogy. Screw it, I'm replacing it with mine. Some people say that hunting squirrels is pointless because they don't even have enough fur to make a hat, but they do have enough fur to make a jockstrap. And that makes sense because squirrels hide nuts. I'm sure Wizards that was their second choice. That was just so close to going on the card. Next up, we've got the world's crappiest picture of Suspicious Nanny. Costs 5. It's a human spy rigger, which is already pretty cool. Whenever Suspicious Nanny deals combat damage to a player, it reassembles target contraption that player controls. You gain control of it and move it to one of your sprockets. Ooh. Stealing or destroying another player's contraptions is going to be the key to winning. That and lots of high fives. So, yeah, this is a pretty powerful card. Yes, afternoon, folks. Lovely day for a stroll with my authentic human baby. Next up, the big idea. This artwork looks so cool. It's a legendary creature, Brainiac Villain. Ooh. It costs 6, and it's a 4/4, so it's already not very good, but let's see what it does. You can pay 4 with mixed color options there. Roll a 6-sided die, create a number of 1/1 red Brainiac creature tokens equal to that result. Not bad for 4 mana. Well, as an ability, honestly, that is kind of bad for 4 mana. Then tap 3 untap Brainiacs you control. The next time you would roll a 6-sided die, instead roll 2 6-sided dice and use the total of those results. Ooh. Now remember, that ability bypasses Summoning Sickness. If you have a way to untap him, you could really get some messed up stuff going. Finally, we have it! And strangely, it's not a jester. It's the unset Planeswalker, and it's Urza, Academy Headmaster, which is funny because he's just ahead. I don't know much more about how that happened. I heard Karn did it and then stole his spark, but somebody told me that that's not how it worked, and I don't know. By the way, that little clapping monkey to the left of his beard is identical to the one from Fallout 4, and I'm sure the lawsuit's pending. Although I think I heard that they copied one that actually existed, so maybe not. So it costs all 5 colors, so you're basically not going to be able to play it, and it comes up with 4 loyalties, so it's already not very good. And you can +1, head to askurza.com and click +1. -1, head to askurza.com and click -1. And if you -6 him, head to askurza.com and click -6. Which is stupid, because then you have to have a smartphone and an active data plan or a computer or Wi-Fi. And thanks, Wizards. And whatever, the card's unplayable in a draft anyway. Well, you know I'm going to test that one out in a separate video, so watch for that. Next up, we've got just simply X. I already know what they're going to do with this. I already know. As long as X is in X's owner's opponent's hand, X's owner may cast X and activate X's abilities. That opponent can't cast X and plays with his or her hand revealed. The hell does that mean? You can pay 2, tap it, which is weird because they just said it's in the hand. How do you tap a card that's in the hand? Put X into target opponent's hand. Okay. Well, you could probably only activate that from the battle. I don't know. I'm going to have to reread this 16 times. Pay 5. You may play a card in the same hand as X without paying its mana cost. Well, it's a spy, so I kind of get it. Let's break it down. As long as X is in its owner's opponent's hand. So owner, not controller. It has to be the owner. As long as they're in, so if it's your X, it has to be in your opponent's hand. Then you may cast X from their hand onto the battlefield and activate X's abilities. So how do you use a tap ability while it's in the hand? I have no idea. Can you? I mean, would you really even need to? But anyway, that opponent, so that your opponent can't cast X even though he's in their hand and plays with his or her hand revealed. That makes sense because while you have placed X into their hand, you could activate his ability because you're still the owner, but you're not technically currently the controller because it's not in a zone that you control, which is why they had to write it that way. You can then pay 5 and cast absolutely anything in their hand without paying for its mana cost at all. You still have to pay any secondary cost, though. This is pretty powerful, but until you get to 5 mana, there's no point, so I guess you could throw him out as a 2/2 and swing with him until that happens. So overall, he's pretty good. And that's actually the last of the cards, so I'm too lazy to check still if that's all the cards from Unstable. It maybe is, it probably isn't. But definitely watch for the AskUrza.com video, because I'm going to make that, and it's going to be awesome. I'll see you guys next video.